Recess.
It's a nice school, but the water's never cold and there's no air conditioning.
I think art, and I can show you because my hands have paint on them.
The teachers help you learn a lot, and plus, I love pizza.
I like science.
Science.
My favorite part of the day is recess.
The rainbow playground is awesome.
Huh? This elementary school is awesome.
I love the instrumental music program.
I liked math for a while.
I think the new lockers were really cool.
You're always included.
They even let you play like tuba or something.
ELA and science has been really fun. Res is an awesome school.
It's a lot better than my old schools, actually.
There's a bunch of different after-school clubs.
I think some of the clubs I do are a lot of fun.
All the activities like that you get to do.
I feel like I've had spectacular teachers.
I feel very ready for high school now.
I really like AIM because it's smaller.
I'm more of an independent person. I like to be independent and alone.
Definitely prepares you for the real world.
So I like that it's more hands-on and one-on-one, and they'll work with you more.
Brighton is very challenging.
All my teachers are really helpful.
It's a community vibe. There are music opportunities, there are sports opportunities.
My ability to work with really different people because Brighton's such a diverse place.
I got involved in Key Club and Photography Club.
In kindergarten with Mr. Dreschler, for some reason I remember one small math problem where I couldn't add 19 plus 16, and I kept doing it over and over again, and he just spent so much time with me trying to figure that out. 16 plus 19 is 35.
Well, just the substitutes. I learned a little bit about clocks, like the ones that are not digital. I'm looking forward to go to the music and French Road because I want to be a rock star. Listen to the water, listen to the water, rolling down the river.
Maybe I'll like French Road just as much as I love concert rock.
The teachers all get who you are.
It's a really welcoming school.
When I lived in New York City, there was no instrumental music. There was a music program, luckily, but there's no like instrumental. And when I came here, I'm like, well, band room, cool.
In third grade, I knew I would never like Fres as much as concert rock, but by the end, I loved Fres. If I had to sum up all of my teachers at Fres, it would be astounding.
I think it's a good school district.
There are a lot of amazing teachers who work here.
I think there's a lot of opportunities.
There's always teachers who are willing to give up a lot of their free time, and
They make it easy to learn.
Brighton's always so welcoming and friendly, and the teachers are awesome.
So I feel like it's definitely a friendly community.
Good educational system.
Brighton's a lot more like academic.
I think it's easy to access someone to talk to. The superintendent is right downstairs, so I guess if you need anything, you get to go talk to him.
I failed my 10th grade year, and there is no way I would have graduated on time without AIM.
I love Brighton because there is such a supportive environment.
It's been a really supportive community academically and socially.
I want my kids to grow up in a community like this one day. It's really nice.
I think Brighton is more vigorous than other schools. It's cooler to be an overachiever than an underachiever. Brighton definitely prepared me for what I'm going to face in the real world.
I don't really think there's another school district anywhere that's anything at all like Brighton.
I thought my teacher was going to be mean, but she actually turned out to be nice. They're not too strict, but they don't let you do whatever you want.
A flexible thinker, she basically thinks of every single thing.
Very cheerful and fun, and she's very creative too.
Sometimes if you want extra homework, she'll give you extra homework.
They all kind of have that teaching spirit. You've blown my mind. Friendly, kind, funny, and nice.
Really nice.
Really fun. This was my mind, and now my mind is healed from all the teaching. I feel like I've had spectacular teachers.
They're very kind.
He doesn't have that teacher feel about him.
I feel like it's beyond just teaching. They develop a deeper relationship with their students.
I remember one of my teachers, Miss Rigney, her birthday was on April Fool's, and so I remember thinking of her on April Fool's Day, and so I told her, but then she thought I was calling her a fool, so it was a little bit weird. I am very sorry, Miss Rigney.
The closest relationship I've ever had to teachers is probably here in Ames.
Like, they push you, they want you to succeed.
Teachers that really impacted me and really helped me.
So I like that it's more hands-on and one-on-one.
One time, Mr. Ennis asked me to count all the chairs in the library, and that was pretty cool.
I think there's a lot of genius teachers in the school.
Not only just well-qualified teachers who know what they're talking about.
They're not like these far away, distant people.
It just feels so good to know that they're always there helping us.
Just so much passion for their students.
They've kind of been like my psychologists.
Every teacher that I've had has actually genuinely cared about me, and I think that's helped me become the person that I am today. So thanks.
Miss Blaustein, I like her because she encourages us to learn so in a way that I can't really say.
Miss Button, always doing no bueno like and it's very funny.
Yes. Yeah, Miss Cranston, we do some wild things with her.
Miss Marcadani, I thought she was a little silly at first.
I want to say to Miss Marcadani that she was the best teacher in the world that I had so far.
You're the best.
I love my teacher, Miss Parker. She's very funny.
Mrs. Willis, because we did so many fun projects.
I just like all the teachers. All the teachers here are really nice.
Mrs. Hippert really helped me through ELA and improve my writing.
I like the Falters. They were very nice.
I really like my tech teacher, Mr. Kniebel, because he keeps it real.
In 6th grade with Mr. Winslow, when we did the stories, the fables, that was one of my funnest experiences in South Corners Middle School.
Miss Weatherby is honestly like one of the most caring people I've ever met in my life.
I remember Miss Clancy, Miss Hobbins.
I am going to say Miss Weatherby is the most effective teacher.
I like to thank Miss Randall for her professionalism too.
Mr. Struzik, I think he's the biggest part of the performing arts program at Brighton.
I had a great German teacher, Frau Gillespie. I was lucky to have her for 3 years.
One teacher who definitely had a huge influence on me was Mrs. Hall. I really appreciated her commitment to her students.
Mr. Noto, of course.
Mr. Noto has played a really large role in my senior year.
Mr. Noto always says like, oh, he makes these jokes that are like, you're never gonna get a job. You have to laugh at them because you're like, oh my God, what is this?
He's opened my eyes to the study of economics.
He taught us about the world and like how it works. And then he says, it always gets worse.
The kind of role model that says yes to things, that's available.
Each joke, you know what, just laugh. It'll make him feel good.
And that's been really inspiring for me to see and to participate with.
Gonna miss you, Mr. Noto.
The majority of high school students have gone through Mr. Fredenberg's classes.
With his gavel, is that what it's called?
I really don't understand why everybody's talking right now. We have important things to learn and a test in 2 weeks.
Dr. Hall, of course.
So I think he's just a great principal, and I just think I'll never forget how he's made my experience here.
During Springfest, I had a moment when Dr. Hall was performing during the talent show and he was singing Shake It Off, and I started to tear up a little bit. Oh my gosh, Dr. Hall's performance was just perfect. It was just amazing because he was so enthusiastic and he really showed who he is. I think he's just caring and he's willing to put himself out there and he puts 100% into everything that he does. And we're just so lucky to have him, and oh my gosh, it was just, the Shake It Off performance was perfect.
I went on Peak Experience, which is like the trip through the outdoor club with Mr. Porta and Dr. Hall, and that was like the first year that Dr. Hall was principal, so like I didn't really know him that well or anything, and he's gonna be mad at me for telling this story, but when we were on that trip, he had altitude sickness, and I remember just looking over Dr. Hall and being like, Dr. Hall, like, are you okay? And then he just was like, no, just pukes in a bush. He's always very embarrassed when I tell it, but I don't know, whatever.
I think, just to put it simply, just thank you. Thank you for all the time that you put into us and the energy you put into us, because I think I'm in a really good position walking out of here.
There's nothing else in the world that's more precious, I think, than a relationship between a teacher and a student. And I wouldn't give the world for it.
You've taught me a lot about life, and there isn't one specific teacher, just because there's so many that I have loved working with and who've taught me a lot about life. So thank you.
It's been really, really awesome and really, really fun, so thank you.
Thank you, Brighton, for the education, life experience, and everything I've learned here.
Years down the road, every student will come to the realization that, wow, you know, my teachers really made a really big influence and impact on who I am.
To sum things up, the only thing I can say is just thank you.
Yeah, I'm grateful for the friends I've made and the times I've had here.
Yeah, I think I'll miss everything and everyone, and I don't know what else there is to say.
Go Barons. Every day is a great day to be a Baron.